This is the Conversationalist. Let's converse. Hello and welcome to another episode of Exploring Expressions. On today's episode, I have chosen to do another still view, this time of the ocean, because I believe the ocean is one of the most relaxing things in the world. If you look at the waves for a few hours or a few minutes, it can do wonders for you. It can make you feel so much better. So have a look at the waves, listen to the water, but most of all, listen to the expressions and focus on how you can use them, of course, in your own conversation. So the expressions that I would like to discuss with you today are expressions about relationships, about society, and about people around you. This will be the first episode in this series. As I'm sure you can imagine, there are quite a large number of expressions that are about relationships in society. Let's get into it. Sometimes we have to be completely honest with our friends, right? Sometimes they might not want to hear it, but as a friend, you have a responsibility to sometimes be honest. It might be uncomfortable, it might be awkward, it might cause a little bit of friction, but sometimes it is necessary. Now, when you want to tell your friend something brutally honest, then you could start with saying, "Don't get me wrong." I use this expression, of course, when you want to say something harsh, but you don't want to insult anyone. So if your friend is wearing a dress that doesn't flatter her, the dress does not look so good on her, you want to be honest, right? You could say something like, "Don't get me wrong, but maybe that dress doesn't go so well with the shoes. Or maybe you can try another dress for this evening. It might be awkward, she might not like it, but it is the best thing to do, right? You're the friend, you have a responsibility, so don't get me wrong." Another expression that can be used instead of "don't get me wrong" is "no offense." No offense. So that, of course, means the same thing. When you want to be honest, but you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. No offense, but your cooking isn't very good. No offense, but your singing isn't great, for example. So don't get me wrong or no offense. You use these expressions when you want to be brutally honest. Can you think back to when you were in middle school? Or maybe even when you were in high school and you had a great friend? And of course, as life happens, you don't always end up in the same places, right? Maybe after high school, you and your friend went to different universities. And of course, you promised to stay in touch and you'll remain best friends forever, right? We were all there at some point. But unfortunately, when you don't see someone every day, then your relationship might not stay as strong, right? When you were in high school, you saw each other every day. You could even see each other in the evenings, you could see each other on weekends. You could always hang out and tell each other everything. But now you have different lives. Your friend has made some new friends, you have made some new friends, and you don't talk as much as you used to. In that case, you can say you drifted apart. When you drift apart from your friend, it means that you don't have as much contact as you used to. Nothing bad had to happen. You didn't have an argument, you didn't disagree about anything, just life happens, right? And you don't see each other anymore and you start to drift apart. Now, sometimes when you meet someone or you work with someone so well that you always have similar ideas, or you always agree about certain ideas. Whenever a project needs to be attended to, whenever a project needs to be finalized, you can agree about how it should be done. It's great to have those colleagues or those people that you study with, right? Some peers that you get along well with, and you understand each other and you agree with each other. With those kind of people, you can say that you are on the same page. So for example, if you have a business meeting and your one colleague mentions something and you agree with him completely, then you can say, we are on the same page. That is a great idea. We definitely need to continue with that plan. Or what you mentioned last week was a great idea. We are on the same page. We need to follow this direction. Right, so on the same page, to agree with each other. And that is it for today. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.